Hey, good morning. Uh, got to go into work early, so I got a good one. I got a really good one today, and like I said, it's really crazy the way he works. Um, Normally, I'll just be reading my the Bible on my phone and going through things that I want to look at or that I hear someone else, another brother or sister talk about, and I'll start going through verses, and like I said, and he leads me and guides me, and then I feel his presence when he gives me something. But my daughter gave me this little prayer book the other day, and it's great. And yesterday I was at work, just screwing around on my phone, watching videos from other Christian brothers, sisters, and stuff. And anyways, I just felt him in my spirit say, "Get out that prayer book, get out that prayer book," and then definitely was led to the very first one in the prayer book. And I had been paging through it, I'd seen it before, but I didn't feel that. But yesterday I did, so this is the one, and it's got a spot for notes. So I went through it because I know he wanted me to go through it. So there's that. Yeah, he just works in just so many different ways. So this is a really good one. It's Psalms 23:3. So Psalms 23:3. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. It's a great verse. It's beautiful. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And this was written by King David, the Psalms, before Christ was even, in the picture there. Well, I mean, he's always been in the picture, but. So, anyways, it's a great verse. And I took it back, and it's beautiful. And it means so much more. There's just so much. Like I said, all these verses seem to be, the majority of verses in the Bible, just been way oversimplified. And probably because of the nature of our language was just so early, on in the Hebrew and Greek and Aramaic languages are so much older and more precise. But now, since time has went on, our language has gotten better and more descriptive, and more words have been added throughout time. More scriptures have been found, so we get a much more clear understanding. It's still not perfect, but it's just a much more clear understanding because we have a larger vocabulary as time has went on. So here we go. It means to, and this is beautiful. Okay, to be restored back to God. Okay, and it said he restores my soul. So when you take that back, these words, it says to be restored back to God. The inner being of man to be restored back to God. To be breathed upon. To lead forth out of exile. To lead forth out of exile. Of entrenchment of the law. We've been entrenched into the law of the flesh. Of entrenchment of the law. And entrenchment, I need to define that. So that means something that's believed so firmly, and it's been so firmly established that change is very difficult and unlikely. So we're entrenched in the law of the flesh and the things of the flesh here. Okay, so understand that. So, to lead forth out of exile, of entrenchment of the law, in the name of the Messianic King, to be justified, in what Christ did. He justified us through his death on the cross, his death and resurrection on the cross. Okay, so in the name of the Messianic King, to be justified as a designation of God. And designation means to name someone officially, a title that's officially bestowed by an action of marking. He marks us, he seals us with his Holy Spirit. That's his breath, to be breathed upon. Okay, so to be restored back to God, he needs to breathe upon us with the breath of life, the gift of the Holy Spirit, to lead us forth out of our exile of entrenchment by the law. okay, in the name of the Messianic King to be justified as a designation of God, a position of honor to preserve for a purpose. So it's a position of honor when we're born again spiritually, and we are preserved for a purpose to transform. And this is, and I thought this was weird, but he wanted me to write it, and I didn't get it there for a little bit. You know, I was like, really? But yeah, he wanted me to write it. So it's a position of honor to preserve us for a purpose, to transform the abode of the stars. That's what he wanted me to write. Okay. To transform the abode of the stars. And my thought, and I think this goes along perfectly with this, to transform the abode of the stars. The stars are the shiny ones, right? The angelic host. And if you know what that word, H430, you can look that up. If you know what that word is, it's the angels, the angelic host of heaven. Judges, magistrates, rulers, the shiny ones, the Elohim, the gods with a small g, part of the supreme God, but not the supreme God, part of the supreme God. And I know that word's used for God in other verses, but it's preceded by the word Lord, you know, which means the Almighty, the one in charge of. See, we're all little pieces of God. We're all His children. Like your children are pieces of you, your genetic code, your makeup, your character. And it's funny because you can see it, and you can even see it in animals when animals are bred. And that's the thing in the flesh, but it's carried on. God reveals Himself through His creation, right? You take on the characteristics, like my family is from the South, and they were farmers and ranchers and different things, breeders of horses and cattle and things. And you know, so, man, that's a rough life, man. A lot of hard working people down there, Bible believing, hellfire preaching Christians, and that's passed on through however it is. I know it. I have no doubt. You know, we're some hard working people, man. Hard working people, and thank God they trained us up in the way that we should go. That when we're older, we will not depart. That foundation of Jesus Christ and His Word was planted in us, and they did that from when we were little all the way growing up. And you know, I departed from it for, you know, in my teenage years and that, and then when I was in the service, I made a firm decision that I wanted to know the truth, and I really started studying the Bible there. And there's been times off and on, but only until the time of the end, which is now. Has He opened it up over the last several years here, and I've understood it more. And thanks to J.K. showing me how to study better. And but you know, you can only truly be taught by His Holy Spirit, and He reveals His scriptures to you. He opens it up. He unrolls the scrolls, unseals them, and opens up to you by the gift of His Holy Spirit. So. This is beautiful, the abode, to transform the abode of the stars. And what did Satan say? I mean, understand what he said. I will exalt my throne above the stars of heaven. And we live here in this world. And Satan was given dominion to rule and reign over this world for a time period. And understand, Jesus Christ Himself said, my kingdom is not of this world. It is not. It's not of this world. Not of hence, meaning not yet. Not yet. Satan's been given rule and dominion. He has exalted his throne above the stars. And so what is this world? It's the abode of the stars right now. Not all of them. Only 1/3, right, Fel? I mean, look into these things. If it's not, you know, I mean, really look into it. It'll start to make sense when you read the Bible. Things will be opened up and become far clearer to your mind and understanding. Pray about it, and see if these things be so. Be a good Berean, right? When you hear something, like I was warning people the other day, when you hear something that you haven't heard before and you don't agree with or understand because you weren't taught that in church, You were taught something else by men, right? Like I said, nothing said that the men that were translating the original language into their language, the English, Dutch, French, German, blah, blah, whatever, were inspired by God's Holy Spirit. Nothing even, and I'm sure some were, but inspired by the Holy, but our language was deficient too. So we're not getting the full understanding. And that's why it's so important to go back into the Bible for yourself and use everything that you can to make it clear to you so you can understand it. You got to hold on to it like Jacob. And Jesus Christ, he said, if you love me, you will abide in my word. Do you want to know him? Do you want a relationship, a back and forth relationship with him where he knows you and you know him, where you are known and he exalts you to a position of honor, like that verse said, by giving you the breath of life, his Holy Spirit breathing into you? It's just, everything starts to make sense. I mean, when you understand certain things that we've been taught that weren't quite right by men and church, only his Holy Spirit can lead you into all truth and righteousness. Let no man teach you. The Holy Spirit will lead you into all truth and righteousness. Understand the Bible. I mean, and look, I'm just a factory rat, man. I fix machinery and cranes and conveyors and stuff for a living. Work hard. And if he can lift the veil off my eyes and heal my blindness and deafness, he can do it to anybody. So there's that, sinner saved by grace for sure. Thank God. All right, that's it. It's a great verse. God bless you. Love and respect everybody. Remember, they're just lost. People are just lost. I got to go make the donuts, man. Going in early all week. So, all right, have a great day. Bye.